going on?
I just don't like change, and it's scary, and it's just another, with everything else that's going on in the family, it just feels like yet another thing. But I also know that you're the only one who cares about it too.
I do. I'm grateful she's hanging on, and I want her to continue to, but I feel selfish. This whole experience of being here and waiting to see if something can happen between her and Cody has got to be hard.
I'm angry. It's like, it's not that I'm grumpy or yelling or doing something, it's that I have resting ass.
Let's examine the injunction's actual language in more detail. The automatic injunction states, and I quote, "If the petition involves the division of property, personal property, or debts, the parties must not transfer, encumber, conceal, or dispose of your property or the other party's property, unless you have the written consent of the other party or a court order, except in the usual course of business, or to provide for the necessities of life." In other words, this rule applies to every family law case in Utah. If that small word is a game changer, let's now highlight it. Unexpectedly, there are no remaining joint assets to divide, so property division is not even covered in Christine's petition. The house was taken by Christine. When Christine packed her bags and left for Utah, Cody had previously received a coyote pass, and they had already separated their personal belongings. Hey, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel TLC Flicks. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. What is left to divide then? Nothing at all. Since Cody hasn't broken any laws and jail time isn't even an option, this injunction clause just doesn't apply in this case. Just saying, it appears that he has misjudged the situation once more. Oh, it's hilarious that your lavish wedding wasn't about you, Robin. That 11-day honeymoon, I suppose, wasn't about you and Cody either. You walked down the aisle wearing not one, but two bridal dresses, if my memory serves me well. Not to be overlooked is the brown outfit that goes so well with the family portraits. Instead of taking center stage as the bride and focusing on Cody's special moment of choosing the dress, why not just wear the brown dress to fit in with the family if this day wasn't about you? That was quite a display. While you had the most lavish wedding of all the women, replete with a solitary dress shopping trip with Cody, something the others never experienced. It must have been such a delight for the other spouses to act as though they had a voice in an all-out affair. You essentially own two wedding gowns. Greetings, brown dress. The other spouses have paid their sincere respects to you on this memorable day. Not to mention the second set of wedding pictures, exclusively for you and Cody. How is it not about you, my love? I suppose the true offense was that Cody's family members dared to attend. A monogamous marriage was not what you were getting into. You were aware of that? Naturally, the ultimate goal was to engage on a soul-melding adventure with the entire family, not just you and Cody. If you really loved Cody for the way he treated his first wives, it was never going to be your day. Why is their major involvement in the wedding such a problem? Sister wives, can you really control that tongue, Star Christine? What you perceive to be affection is simply inappropriate. It was hilarious how she expressed her anger by physically separating Christine and David, but Christine still sneaks in every opportunity to tongue wrestle with David. Poor Usable looks very devastated and powerless. To be honest, she needs to understand the distinction between excessive sexual energy and affection. Certain things should remain in the bedroom, such as well out of the public view and particularly out of her children's reach. The bottom line is that it's obvious that Christine only cares about herself. Not to mention the remarks made about Christine, the unfortunate victim who has been starving for attention and has been in a cult. Blah, blah, blah. Now that she is an adult, it is imperative that she exercise common sense. Sure, I'm all for her basking in the love right now, but really, do we have to put the audience through all of that? I skip straight to the moments with David and Christine. Without their ostentatious, embarrassing tongue fights, the 2-year-old plot is already embarrassing enough. Zibble, I truly feel sorry for you. Despite her obvious discomfort, she's attempting to be supportive. It's just strange. Your children aren't attempting to destroy your relationship, Christine. All of a sudden, they're attempting to prevent you from looking foolish on camera. She seems to be acting for the cameras. Even worse for Cody is the fact that Jackass obviously still gets away with it. In her mind, at this point, it's a complete mess, with a number of resentful ex-partners continuously attempting to outdo one another. To be honest, I don't think I'll make it through the season. A quick kiss in the kitchen is one thing, but there's a thin line between being amusing in front of your children and what Christine is doing. And you simply laugh it off if the youngsters say, "Ew." Shoving your tongue down your new guy's throat in front of your kids is absolutely disgusting and terribly stupid, but I was definitely the eye roller when my parents did that. I respect that she's finally able to do things she's never been able to do before because I know she's been through a lot. But when your kids are obviously uncomfortable, it's time to calm them down. If she would just stop the blatant make-out sessions and maintain her normal behavior, everyone would be ecstatic. PDA. I'm not repulsed. Christine, star of Sister Wives, is obviously delighted with her fast-paced romance with David. But at what price? She seems to have concluded that her suffering is merely a small annoyance, as if she will eventually move past it. Who wouldn't be ecstatic to witness their mother's PDA parade at the wedding venues with a guy she's only known for 6 weeks? You can feel Truly's discomfort by breaking off their hand-holding, throwing her bag at David, snatching it back, and stomping away in exasperation. She is clearly attempting to put some distance between them. Despite this, Christine and David dismiss it as harmless teenage pranks. Oh. And when they decide to continue kissing in front of the children, they're congratulating themselves on that as well, seemingly unaware that the children aren't exactly buying it. Their obsession with Christine's pleasure appears to have been an afterthought. Recall Christine's casual comment about returning to Utah. Truly's legitimate worries regarding another move were dismissed. Not exactly a master class in parenting communication, but remember that she actually learned about her parents' divorce via listening in on a chat with Mike Kelty. They relocated to Utah, and now, a year later, Christine's daughter is accompanying her and her new boyfriend to look at wedding venues, while Isabel is equally uncomfortable and looks absolutely useless. It's tragic that the Brown children, who have already been moved around a lot, deserve so much better than their parents' selfish choices. Seeing them go through this seems like a wake-up call, but Christine and David are completely missing it. To be honest, I don't think the reality star Christine is pursuing Cody for the money. Although she is pursuing custody and child support, it is not because she is in need of his money. The goal is to acquire actual decision-making authority. Having control over the major decisions that affect their child's life is the main source of contention in these lengthy custody disputes, which I have witnessed friends go through. Of course, money is an important consideration. Consider it. Can actually take that school vacation abroad. Will there be any controversy if Christine takes her out of state? Does she require counseling? I can definitely picture Cody intervening out of pure resentment to stop someone from tripping or interfering with a medical decision. Perhaps his final stunt was the straw for her. I would lay everything out, demand complete decision-making authority, or threaten to take him to the dry cleaners if I were Christine. She doesn't seem to be concerned about her salary. She has demonstrated that she is capable of earning money on her own, but if he ruins this one, she will not be able to give high school another chance. So good. They aren't organizing their life around his erratic last-minute behavior, and he can have occasional supervised visits, but no more holidays. I'm in town, hello. Visits no longer, and Christine has undoubtedly realized that the program won't continue indefinitely, perhaps not until she reaches 18. Typically, the family helps the children through college, but she won't receive the same support. The window is closing quickly, and so is Truly's eligibility to benefit from it. So if Christine wants to secure any funds for Truly's future, now is the moment, while Cody is still earning money. Another aspect is that the polygamy communities in Utah are keenly monitoring all of this. When they depart, polygamous women hardly ever pursue legal rights. However, if Christine is successful, it may encourage other women to defend themselves and their children. It's ironic that Christine was polygamous, largest supporters prior to the performance. She may still be making an effort to support the community in her own manner. The worst part is that Cody currently has no official rights at all. Since there is no custody agreement, and he is not listed on True's birth certificate, Christine already has complete decision-making authority. Did anyone else find Nathan sucking up to Sister Wives amusing? Cody Brown star seeing him leave. It was really annoying that Cody gave his wife some furnishings. Emmy handed her own sister some furnishings and she said, "Hello, that was Emmy, your eyes." Why in the world is Cody supposed to be given credit for anything here? It's timeless. It irritates me that these men act so arrogant. At this point, Nathan's fixation with Cody is almost unsettling. The fact that Mary's own sister and brother-in-law sought assistance from Cody of all people to move her belongings was already problematic. Did they really have no other choice than to ask? They ushered him into Mary's personal space while pretending that everything was okay with their clumsy, diminutive Fantastic Four. Cody was as unaware as ever of the completely strange sight. I'm still curious as to why Mary's relationship seems to be going so much more smoothly now. I'll give you a hint, buddy. You can't handle it now that she's free of you. The entire episode was, to be honest, a complete bore fest. Perhaps the only thing that was worth the outcry was TLC for airing it. Amazing stuff, including a venue search and a sofa giveaway. What on earth does Cody, star of Sister Wives, want? He has been pushing Mary out the door for years, essentially ordering her to go for a hike. And now, in episode 7 of season 18, he is abruptly depressed over everything. I'm sorry, but what was his ideal situation in this situation? Did he want her to wait for him to return in some mystical way? He said, "Why are you still here now?" after she tried that. He says he didn't mean to imply that he wouldn't try to resolve the situation when he indicated he would fake it. What has he been saying all along that he wouldn't try to work things out with her? Did he lose everything after hitting his head? And why does prayer tell? Does he feel the need to call Mary right now to talk about the reasons why the marriage failed? I mean, is it really that important? He now appears to be more engaged in correcting her and disputing with her. I honestly don't see how he was able to entice 4 women to marry him in the first place. He's just so unlikable. In addition, can we discuss Christine's schoolgirl infatuation with David while she is choosing wedding locations before they are even engaged? Although it's adorable that they're content, I was a little uneasy about the whole school drill and crush battle. Most of it I had to skip. Mary, on the other hand, has essentially drawn back the curtain on Cody by pursuing the divorce through the church. They probably yelled at him about it. He seems to be attempting to convince everyone that he is not the villain he seems to be, but then he is insulting his children and the rest of the family. It feels like a performance. He is anxious for people to once again worship him as if he were the family's monarch since his supply of adulation is running low. Cody, good luck with that. That is not something I anticipate occurring very soon. It's difficult not to feel a little sorry for Christine. Like many adults who grew up in a cult and ended up in a terrible marriage, she is emotionally stunted. Therefore, I'll overlook some of her pranks. To be honest, I don't give a damn about the new price tag on the Crybros Gillette or what the property records show. There's something seriously fishy going on with the money, and I'm just waiting for the house of cards to fall apart. Shall we discuss the current season, or was it late in the season? Regardless of what Cody was complaining about, Coyote passed in the fall of 2022. However, in June 2023, he and Robin appear out of nowhere with more than $300,000. However, it's unclear how much exactly they need to pay off that loan. And now they have $400,000 to spend on the trust mansion for white trash. Where the hell is this money coming from, really? Is TLC just giving them large checks? Nearly $1 million in liquid cash in just 2 years? Or is the gun industry making a ton of money? Could someone please explain the logic behind that? All of that, did Cody siphon? The Cody Brown family LLC's cash. Oh, the never-ending drama of Cody, Star Mary, and Sister Wives. I am aware that I am taking a risk with this viewpoint, but I will nonetheless express it. Sincerely, I believe Mary would still accept Cody's return. You did indeed hear me correctly. Even if they are spiritually separated, I can imagine a universe in which Cody somehow transforms after all those years of terrible treatment and the utterly horrible things he has thrown at her. Imagine him having a dramatic epiphany, replete with sincere regrets, declarations of love, and a fervent request to resume their romance. Yes, I believe she would be duped. Naturally. Let's be honest. There will never be that moment. Even though Cody will always be a destructive narcissist, it's difficult to avoid feeling that Mirai would start over in order to recapture the good old days when seeing their interactions in this episode. Shall we now discuss the last nail in Cody's coffin? Mary didn't merely mutter kind words. She went ahead and obtained the formal release, accusing him in public of abandoning, knowing it would hit him square in the gut. Well, that's just a traditional checkmate. Officially, she's finished. Even still, after spending 32 years around Cody, I can't deny that he was her first and only love. In circumstances like this, it's difficult to let go of the past. Who wouldn't have trouble deciding how to behave? Does anybody else notice how TLC is clearly playing this game? Christine appears to be embracing her job in front of the cameras recently, doesn't she? Every episode seems to be dominated by her plot. I have no doubt that a new show with Christine and David and their 2 families is on the horizon. Can you picture all the children and grandchildren participating? That right there is a complete house. TLC was obviously aiming for a large family dynamic when they initially brought the Browns on board, and Christine and David now perfectly embody that. Let's face it, Cody and Robin will undoubtedly be sidelined, and I'm beginning to believe that Janelle and Mary are being phased out. It appears that Christine will be the main focus of this. Does anyone else have similar feelings? For anything that removes Cody and Robin from my screen, I'm all for it. Not to mention that the majority of the Brown adult children have shown little desire in being videotaped, not just in background scenes at parties but actually being filmed. A large number of them would prefer not to appear on camera at all. So why should we presume that I would be forced to live with those 3 women, and that David's children and grandchildren will be any different? Oh, the 3 women. Your gorgeous tiny head is not a cause for concern. You've lost all 3 of those women, sister wives, star Cody, and it's about time you realize that Robin is utterly miserable with him. When I believe he can't get much worse, he always manages to grow worse every time he opens his mouth. He somehow surpasses himself. BM Baldy Locks has never once admitted that those women gave birth to 13 gorgeous children for him, or that they made so many sacrifices for him to be able to walk about like he's God's gift to the earth. Samoth. What a complete waste of flesh. This entire adolescent female thing has been incredibly appealing to Christine recently. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she shouldn't date or should have stayed with Cody, but all of those episodes with Christine and David make it seem like she's having a typical teenage breakup meltdown, trying to convince everyone that she's happy. Now, with the wedding stuff in the most recent episode, it seems like she's jumping into an engagement just for the princess dress and the party. I went through the entire rebounding process. Now, 10 years later, with 2 children in a happy marriage, I can look back and see how stupid and reckless it was. I got engaged at the age of 18 after 3 years with a guy who cheated on me 2 months before our wedding. I started dating someone else very soon and got married within a year. I ought to have been more patient. I think it's crazy to see someone at 50 behave the same way I did when I was 19. She shouldn't be more mature than her own children. Let's face it, Christine is somewhat emotionally immature. Growing up, she dreamed of being the lone wife and the 3rd wife. She had multiple marriages during her life. She was taught that everyone who wasn't in the ob was dangerous. Naturally, she wanted to conform to that stereotype, and it's obvious that she wanted to be the 3rd wife. Let's be honest, though she's depicted as the dramatic one, she actually detests drama and conflict. She thought that being the 3rd wife would be a healing experience. Therefore, she wanted to blend in with the family without making a big deal. She is now leaving that world, and it feels like she is a teenager making her first foray into the dating world. She has never had a life apart from multiple marriages and sister wives who are always avoiding conflict. Now she's truly living life as she enjoys her newfound independence. Not to mention that if you're a romantic at heart, new love can make you feel exuberant and impulsive no matter how old you are. Christine has always been a love person. It's becoming very evident that this season has changed into a more joyous, less Robin affair because of all the complexities at play. Constantly having to walk on eggshells and sharing her partner. She simply never had the time to explore that side of herself with Cody. However, Mary has been relegated to the background while Janelle and Christine enjoy their well-earned airtime. A woman who runs a legitimate, filmable business, one that involves real guests at A, B, and B rather than just unending family drama, should get a little more attention, wouldn't you think? Let's be honest. Over the past few seasons, Mary has been oddly absent, most likely as a result of Robin's skillful manipulation to keep her alone. Yes, there are peculiarities in the family dynamic, but Mary travels, come on. Despite her disagreements with the other original wives, she has been the most composed when it comes to allocating assets, which in and of itself merits attention. She also produces interesting material. Really, Mary has been making real progress over the past 2 years, and yet here we are, forced to watch faked views of Cody and Robin acting like they were cleaning up their act 3 weeks ago and witnessing the embarrassing performance by Tony and Mike Kelty. To be honest, Mary seems to be receiving punishment for her past. More so, the entire catfishing incident. I adore Mary, after all. She is a blast when she isn't engulfed in family drama and unhappiness. But who is perfect? I sincerely hope that the much-needed happy magic will be present in next week's program. Please share your opinions in the space provided for comments below. If you are looking for more Sister Wives gossip, come back to TLC Flicks for all your updates. Bye guys.